She couldn't breathe, and she literally couldn't get any air in, and you could hear her struggling to breathe. And the other dog walker had already called the ambulance, and they were saying to start CPR on her. So I was walking the dog, and we were just walking back towards home, and I just saw another one of the dog walkers from the village who was stood at the side of the shop, and it just seemed out of place. It just didn't seem quite right. I just couldn't work out what it was I was seeing, and I just sort of called her across and said, "Are you okay?" As I approached, I could see Regina was really struggling to breathe. Yeah, it was all quite surreal. I didn't quite expect to find that on 7:30 on a morning of my dog walk.
I just wake up, so then I feel like being choked. Then I told my husband, I can't breathe.
I was in the kitchen, so she called me saying she's no longer breathing well. So she was going downstairs so that she can get some fresh air.
When I reached the door, I remember spinning outside the house.
She literally couldn't get any air in, and you could hear her struggling to breathe.
She was producing a very big sound. I started to do some compressions on her. Then I went to the shop to look for someone to assist me with calling the ambulance. After some time, then I saw Kirsti.
We got her moved because you couldn't do it where she was, and started chest compressions. They got her breathing. So even though the breathing was very laboured, very rattly, thankfully at that point she started breathing, and the ambulance arrived. So yeah, they were obviously able to take over.
So all along the baby was asleep. So I have to stay with the baby, then follow with the baby later.
After you collapsed, what do you remember next?
Maybe it was the second day when I was about to go into the theatre. I'm a Christian. I remember praying. I was praying about my kids.
As a police officer, when you're sent to a job, when you're on response and you're sent to a job, you have time when you're driving to that job to process what you're about to go to, or to think about and plan. I didn't have any of that time because it was all very quick. I just went into autopilot. I think years and years of training, just got on with it.
The war scenario, it irritates me, especially when I look yes. Then I start thinking I was going to leave my kids. It hits me.
It was terrible. It was like someone's going to die. No. And also consider the fact that she's got a small baby. And it was something I've never experienced in my life.
I think most police officers will tell you they've joined the job because they want to do good, they want to help people, and that for me is the satisfaction that you get. So often you come across situations like this and it doesn't end with a positive result, so it's just, it helps you, do what you do when you know you can have such an enormous impact and such an enormous effect on somebody's life. She has a 1-month-old baby.
Is it understating it, perhaps, that you saved her life that day or played a part in saving her life that day?
I'd like to think I played a part. Yeah, I'd like to think I did. Certainly the other people that were around thanked me afterwards and just said, thank goodness you were here, which I think that in itself sort of hit home, that I'd done something positive for the day. I think for everybody to learn the basic skills of CPR, it's vitally important. But yes, obviously as a police officer, those first aid skills are often needed because you're often the first on the scene at an incident.
Do you think you've got a friend for life in Kirsti now, someone that you'll always keep in touch with?
Yeah.
Yes.